Hello again my friends, this is a boy needs dog, and welcome to the channel where I talk about, play, rank and review games on the Evercade old and new. In today's episode we take our final gander at the 4th Indie Heroes collection with my review and final ranking of all 11 games and the cart as a whole. This did take a tad longer than I realised because silly me forgot the game saves all reset from Game of the Month. So we had to start again. I had to try and get back through each game as far as I could for footage and to see if I still felt the same about the games. And for some I did, but for a couple my feelings had changed a bit. Remember, with rankings it's just for fun and my opinion. Sometimes I rank a game higher just because I had more fun with it, regardless of if it was technically a better game or not. Okay, let's get stuck in. Number 11. And in 11th place is Block'em Sock'em, a puzzle game developed by John Hancock and Second Dimension and originally released in 2022. This is a solid enough puzzle game mechanic wise. Clear the screen of coloured blocks with a set amount of tosses. You start with a star block, hit any 2 or more coloured blocks to change to that colour and clear those blocks. Then clear any other blocks of a similar colour. If at the end of a column of blocks there is a different coloured block, your block changes to that colour. Does that make sense? There are some interesting puzzle patterns to overcome. Some, when you see it, can be completed relatively quickly, with others taking a bit more thought and fiddle. However, the whole thing is over very quickly, making it probably the quickest title in the collection. And I must admit, once I had got through it, there wasn't much reason to return. So you have fun with it in the limited time it takes to complete, but then you'll probably move on, leaving in last place on this list. Number 10. And in 10th place is Jane Austen's 8-Bit Adventure, a platform game developed by Bitwise Reprise and originally released in 2023. You know, I really like the idea of this one, the fact you're jumping into the books of Jane Austen, trying to find the pages to bring the books back together to go back to the library. Though being 8-bit, you wouldn't necessarily know which books you were in if it weren't for the level title, brief mention, signs and the boss at the end of each one being a character from said book. So taking the Jane Austen part out, it's a competent enough 8-bit platformer where you can gain cool abilities, you can shoot and later glide and run. It can actually get a little bit trickier later, and there's difficulty settings including an unnecessarily invincibility mode, but if you just want to check out all the game has to offer without the annoyance of enemies etc, exploring in peace, the option is there. Again, it is an enjoyable enough jaunt with an interesting surface level premise, but one I doubt I'll return to now I've got through it all. Number 9. And in 9th place is Collie Defense, a strategy game developed by Jan Valiant, I probably pronounced that wrong, and originally released in 2023. And BTW, how funky is this theme tune? Take control of Whiskey, the border collie, and protect your flock of sheep from tigers, foxes, bears. Oh my. Okay, there was less collie action than the title suggested, but that's cool. I don't want to see a collie get hurt by beasties. You know what I'm like. Title of the channel is a clue. Instead, we've got a fun, simple tower defense style game with enough levels to battle through, but not a huge amount. Outside the story mode, there is a separate time trial, time attack type mode where you can choose which level from the start. I don't think you have to unlock them thinking about it. So that does give it a bit more length to it. You do have to pick it all up quite quickly though. It's simple to get the hang of, slowly unlocking more powerful towers as you progress. A lot of trial and error is needed, remembering to save as many credits on early stages so you can get to just about squeeze through the later ones. Well, that's how I found it. Not much more to say except, as I said before, funky title screen music, and yeah, quite fun to pop back into now and then. Number 8. And in 8th place is A Nightmare the Ninth King. A platformer developed by Elvies and originally released in 2022. Now, there's this weird balance thing going on in my head with this game. I love the aesthetics, the gothic fantasy vibe. I love the hints of lore of a bigger world. I love the little intro for each character and the fact they are slightly different, which makes the levels themselves play out a little differently. I love a lot of the little touches and ideas that go into this game. I like the variety in the bosses and using all different skills, like sliding under as they bounce across the screen. That does feel a little badass in the moment. It really does. But some of the controls are frustrating and button placements baffling. What absolute donut thought select would be an appropriate button for shoot? Whatever you're smoking, I'll have some, thank you. It also must be said that music at times might make you question life choices up to that point. And that damn hook mechanic, is that just me? Is it? But then of course I stand back and realise this was for an old 8-bit handheld system with limited buttons. So in some ways, the fact it contains this many systems and types of actions is actually pretty cool, along with the look and world building. So in many ways, it's quite impressive. This is the balance of what I speak. Also, another interesting note that this game was conceived during the COVID pandemic, with Elvies wanting to capture many themes common at the time, like a moment of standstill, chaos in isolation, and an enemy in the form of a disease. There is a lot to love with this game, given the chance. But to love the beauty, you have to embrace the beast that walks alongside. Number 7. And in 7th place is Block Dropping. That name makes me laugh, I don't know why. It's a puzzle game developed by Rocket Ship Park and originally released in 2024. Swap blocks to match 3 or more blocks of the same type to clear them from the screen. Match 4 or 5 at once will produce bombs that can clear whole sections depending on the arrows on them. So it might be like in a line or in a cross. It's pretty cool. Oh, did I get addicted to this one? It's a very simple premise with probably quite a luck of the draw element to it, it must be said, but that can bring with it a lot of fun and can turn a lose into a win or vice versa at a moment's notice. Of the 2 modes available, arcade and puzzle, you should do the puzzle mode first. This has a progression of levels to get through that rewards you after every few stages with a new set of skins for the tiles to beat and then unlock in arcade mode. Puzzle mode has you clearing specific amounts of each block type to progress to the next stage. The puzzle mode is sadly beaten all too quickly and you're left with arcade mode, where it's the same thing but it's a single stage and a single tight time limit. You can select any of the skins you've unlocked, but that's about it. It's a fun high score chase diversion after bashing through puzzle stages, and something you can come back to now and then to beat your score. But I will admit, doesn't have the same pull as progression through the puzzle mode. But I did genuinely really enjoy this game and was very addictive for quite a while until I finished the puzzle mode. Number 6. And in 6th place is Starseed, an arcade-style shoot-'em-up developed by Rockship Park and originally released in 2024, so a relatively new one. This game probably, maybe, shouldn't be this high, probably, maybe. It's probably maybe one of those guilty pleasures. I get there's not a lot to it in the end when I have a game in last place because of the shortness and lack of replayability in the long road, but it's so cool. A little shoot 'em up where you battle across 3 dreadnoughts, shooting waves of enemies and bombing targets one screen at a time. There are an assortment of enemies. My arch nemesis is the round orangey ones with the cross, because I sometimes, a lot of the time, misjudge the lineup when playing on a VS. I don't get these feckers quick enough, and if you don't, you are most likely to get hit. Little shites they are. They also have ones with a timer on. Once they reach 0, they'll fly at you, so either shoot them quick, or it's just as easy to slide out the way when they come charging towards you, as they stay on a straight trajectory from your position and will not move to correct themselves if you dive out their path. I'm still having a lot of fun trying to do a perfect run on all 3 dreadnoughts. I could do the first without a hit barely, and it was probably luck based that I did. The second I still cannot, but I'm getting there. And as for the third, well, that's still a pipe dream at this time. But I'm still having fun trying, and I still dig the way the game targets the areas to destroy with a crosshair. I don't know why I dig that so much, but I do. Great fun. I just wish there was more to it, but the fact I keep going back for another quick bash whenever I stick the cart in says a lot. Number 5. And in 5th place is Batty Zambella, a point-and-click adventure developed by Ice Cold Blood and originally released in 2022. I did have a lot of fun working through this delightful little point-and-click tale, a few eye-rolling sentences aside. I love the atmosphere and look of the game. I love the Game Boy type visuals, so you know this had to be played on the Super Pocket, where it felt perfect, but it looks and plays fun on a big telly too. The game did all things a point and click adventure should do, and there was more interactable elements than I originally thought, like you can power up your hairpin and use it to attack ghostly demons while it's powered. But word of warning, it wears off quick, so you need to find the altar again and power it up. In the early part, when you're at home, this is simple, but after an event you are ripped away from that comfort, where there's many creatures dotted through a maze of tunnels. I won't say any more of the story etc, as that's the main point of these adventures, but I do enjoy a good visual novel / point and click / cinematic style game. I think that's obvious if you follow my channel. And having a Halloweeny flavour never hurts. It is my favourite of the yearly things after all. And it's not the last game to hold that vibe on the cart, so that's groovy innit. The game never gets obtuse with its puzzles and it's pretty chill all round. Oftentimes enjoying a game has less words to say than when things are an issue. I've often noticed that. And this is one of those times. It's just great fun. Number 4. And in 4th place is Soko Banana. It's a crate pushing puzzle game developed by Flip for Fate and released in 2023. The Great Banana Festival is in danger. Can you help the young monkey, Skid, oh that's unfortunate, in saving it? So this was a surprise. I did enjoy it during Game of the Month, don't get me wrong. It's weird, obviously with the cart we've had to start on all the games from scratch. And this time the game has hit so much harder for me. I don't know what it is, but I was so much more into this, trying to work out each stage and how to grab and find every banana within. Not only do you have a slew of levels to unlock on each island, but you have 2 further bonus levels that are locked as well. To unlock the first, you have to find all the bananas on each of the island's levels. Once all are found, this unlocks, and it is a bit different than the previous stages. And to unlock the second bonus stage of each island, you need to find the hidden star in the previous banana bonus level. So there is a lot to do and see. You can take the main route through the game, or you can go the extra mile and hunt down all those bananas and grab your star to unlock and see every stage. So extra replayability and a great puzzler in its own right. It's just great. Sorry, I had to do it. Number 3. And in third place is The Curse of Ilmore Bay. A platformer developed by Second Dimension and originally released in 2021. There's so much of this game to love. For me, the setting is great. It's a Halloween game through and through with all the visual and audio trappings you'd expect. We have a map, and you know how much I love a good map to work through. But what I love even more is when a game world has a map that's worth using. You complete a new level and you may have obtained a key. You can then go back using the map to open a new door in a previously completed level, or you've obtained a new power you can go back and use to reach a previously unreachable section. Each area of the map also has other things to collect hidden in levels, 3 different keys, a heart. Added to this is an end of stage challenge sheet where it marks you on collecting all candies in a stage, killing all enemies and getting through unscathed, which is almost impossible on a first run through without the extra powers and keys etc that you need. But it's a wonderful pull to try and 100% every stage and area in the game. This makes the game world feel more interconnected and bigger somewhat than it probably actually is, and it screams replayability. The more powers you obtain can add an extra balancing act within the levels, as each power uses the same power bar, so you need to use, say, the gliding ability. You can't use the shot ability too often, or you won't have enough juice to glide over a gap. The candies bring the bar up slightly, but never enough, so there must be no waste the deeper you get. Now this could have easily been a #1 game on the cart if it weren't for the final 2 places, though of course there are a few niggles. Sometimes the game speeds up. This is usually when you first load up into the map. It can take a bit to calm down, so if you jump straight into a level you'll need to chill for a minute or go through knowing how to judge enemy movements and jumping times. It does slow down and doesn't repeat that play session, but exists, so I should mention it. Even with this weird oddity though, I still rank this game very highly, because it's hella fun. Number 2. And in second place is Flee 2. Developed by the Godlike Low-Tech Games and originally released in 2024. Henry, the hyperactive flea, must help the freedom fighters rescue their compatriots who've been branded heretics and lunatics by the devilish Free Operator. I love the brutality of this game, the unrelenting torture, death after death after death. But each time you learn and eventually you are bashing through those early levels, saving all your precious lives and getting a massive stockpile for later, only for a new section to completely obliterate half your supplies in minutes. But you eventually learn that, and with the few lives you have, manage to scrape it through a little longer before losing it all once more. Then back to the beginning, but hopefully this time you'll get through the life-taking sections quicker, having more to play with to get even deeper. It's an evil, almost never-ending loop, and I love it. And it's still going, and I'm still loving it. But my Mila, some of these levels are a bitch. Yeah, you can save state and keep reloading after every death until you perfect each room. But where's the fun in that? I do limit myself to only saving when I reach each room where you can swap out blood bottles for lives, so I always have to redo from the last of those rooms I reach if my lives run out. Though it's cool to see how far you can get in one go from the start once you have a good understanding of the game and what it can throw at you. Bloody love this game. Number 1. And in first place, it has to be That's All That's Left. It's Murtop, an arcade action game developed by Hewlett, probably pronounced that wrong, and originally released in 2023. Speaking of bitches, here's the one that stole Flea's tooth crown. I never thought it'd happen. There's no denying, I thought there could be nothing to top the might of the Flea. It was sheltered above even the last entry, but Murtop, with its ridiculously perfect mix of Dig Dug and Dino Blaster, dropped like a 2,000-ton Acme weight and flattened the lot. Who the hell is even Donut Dodo? It stood in the exact same arena as Dodo and devoured it. Murtop has now stolen the crown. The game, also like Dodo, is extra delicious in that it's native. You can't quick save. So it's all about that one credit if you want to high score. Yeah, you can spam credits to see how far into the game you can get, but when it rightly deletes your score at every new credit, there really is only one way to go, and it's all the better for it. And when you're done getting to the top of that in-game high score list, which is no easy task, I've yet to get to the top myself, you can also use one of those square futuristic phone scanning hieroglyphs to see how you're faring against the rest of the community. I doubt I'll get enough of this game for a very, very long time. And my final thoughts on the cart. This collection has been interesting to go through. I remember as we went through last year, there were quite a few we weren't that impressed with a lot we were getting. But you know what? Stick them all in a cart and they complement each other quite well. We've got a good mix here, from quick blast, short-lived and deeper games that take quite a bit of time to get through. We've got a selection of puzzlers and a strategy game. We've got a selection of platformers and a torture device we can't stop going back to. We've got a full-on arcade juggernaut. We've even got that random point-and-click adventure and vertical-ish shoot-'em-up thrown in. When it comes to variety, I cannot complain. And 11 titles is not to be sniffed at either, with a good balance of quantity versus quality too. And personally, I'd say my top 3 are big enough to warrant the purchase. I really do. And I would also say that I pretty much love the top 7 here. And there are none I can say I actively dislike or didn't enjoy my experience with when I was playing. This is a good collection. There's enough to keep you coming back for quite a while, and it's great on either system. The Alpha got a lot of use with this collection. The only game that felt a bit weird playing on the Alpha was Batty's and Bella, which makes sense. But it was still completely playable, just felt weird. Psycho Banana and the Curse of Ilmore Bay love my EXP, however, they want to live in there permanently, but my Alpha screams for Murtop. So there's a lot of infighting while I ignore them both and torture myself for another hour with Flea 2 on the VS. And if you made it here to the end of the episode, thanks ever so much for joining me. Leave a thumbs up or comment if you'd like, but even if not, I'm still chuffed you poked your head in for a goosey gander. As always, I hope you're having the most awesomest of days, my friends, and until next we meet, be seeing you.